In March 2024, Jeo Santisima stepped into a high-stakes clash against the ever-determined Joet González, with the WBO International Featherweight belt on the line. Heading into this fight, Santisima was known for his explosive style and raw power. He was always dangerous and willing to turn a fight into a war. Santisima brought aggression, heavy hands, and the kind of pressure that could overwhelm opponents if they couldn't handle the pace. Santisima would try to impose his power and drag González into a firefight. Heading into this fight, Santisima was expected to use his boxing smarts to take over. But Joet González wasn't built to fold under pressure. A seasoned contender with sharp fundamentals, durability, and a relentless work rate, González had gone rounds with elite competition and learned from every battle. He had the discipline to box, the toughness to trade, and the experience to stay composed when things got rough. For Santisima, this was about making a statement and climbing back into contention. But for González, it was another opportunity to prove he belonged among the very best. This was a hard-fought battle where neither man was willing to take a step back, and boxing fans were in for a treat.
He says, listen, I went back, I watched it the next day, I watched it 3 days later, I thought I won the fight. I think he's a confident fighter, comes out of a loss like that, heals up the eye a little bit, he's better for it.
Yeah, he got outboxed against Shakur Stevenson, went to war with Este, but took a lot of punishment in the meantime. So yes, he garnered a lot of respect from boxing fans, but you got to see if there's any ill effects in this fight with Santisima tonight.
Yeah, I totally believe that. This young man, and I told him in the fighter meeting, I said, hey man, you had some tough losses in championship fights against top quality opponents. But I said, you know, you will have your chance. You have the skills, he has the ability, and he also has the mindset.
Goes with the right hand to the body against Santisima. Santisima's fight against Navarrete was back on February 22nd of 2020. It's an 11th round knockout by Navarrete. Trying to wrap that right hand around the guard of González. González doubles up the left hand, jab, and then the uppercut.
The challenge for González is knowing when to box and when to fight. Just because your opponent wants to fight, it may not be advantageous for you to fight. It may be time to still box, and that's what González has to learn. He has to control the ring and do what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
I think right now, Santisima, what he's doing, he's being patient, taking his time as well. So right now, it's a chess match going on by both men.
A little bit of range finding with the jabs. Triples it up, does the Filipino fighter. Over the top, overhand right, and then digs a left hand to the body.
Not a big fan of that defense that González uses, where he has both gloves up by the top of his head and he catches shots, but you never know what a judge is looking at, and sometimes those shots are getting through to the body and to the head, and they can cause some damage.
Well, the problem is with that defense is you allow the offense to touch you and get close and enter into your zone. You know, that's not the best defense to use. Moving your head or using your feet to get out of range is the best defense to use in boxing.
And I do like it if you're catching and immediately firing off of that defense, but oftentimes that's not what González does.
Well, that was one thing that his father spoke upon inside the meeting, Trey, was that
10 seconds.
In that fight with Navarrete, that's what he did. He didn't punch often enough off that defense.
Navarrete is the wrong guy to stand in front of with that kind of defense, because he's going to find an opening. He'll punch himself into an opening. He'll touch your gloves, and all of a sudden an uppercut gets through and you're trying to figure out how.
And I was expecting this fight to be heat up early because Santisima, he likes that action. He's an aggressive fighter, but this is a technical battle so far.
Well, it's heating up. It's going to heat up. It's only the second round.
Total punches in that first round, Santisima was 10 of 50, González was 10 of 29.
Nice shot right there.
Both men doing work on the inside. Santisima fires off that left hook to the body. 4-punch combination. He finishes with the body shot again.
Yes, he was sitting back, laying back, trying to be a counter puncher. Now, González now picking up the pace and the tempo.
I think Santisima is just looking for a breather. Good jab right there. Good prodding jab from Santisima. Oftentimes you think that the jab has to be hard and has to be a power jab. Just a range fighter. He's moving González to the position he wants him to be in just with a flicking jab like that. And he didn't follow up, but he knows that it will work.
I can tell you with that flicking jab, I understand what you're saying, but also he's throwing that jab out at the wrong distance, at mid-range, where it can be countered. At this point, González didn't make him pay for that.
Has thrown 130 punches in the first 2 rounds, landing 26. González a little more efficient with less work rate, 25 to 74.
González got good solid defense, but he put his hands in, so to speak, in his pocket. He doesn't throw off and he doesn't counter off the blocks, and that's the biggest issue with him.
The other issue for González, and he makes the fight harder, is he loads up with lead shots. He'll lead with a right overhand right, and you hear him throwing the punch with everything he's got, when he could have just slipped in with 2 double jabs and threw the same punch with less effort. Not disciplined with his lead hand or his jab.
Nice short shot right there.
I came off the jab that time on the inside.
That came off the jab.
Yep.
Makes life a lot easier. Especially when you face quality fighters. They see the big shot coming, and you may or may not land it. Oftentimes you won't. Good body shot right there from González underneath.
Watch your head there.
Santisima digs with a double left hand, body and head. Some of the body work by both men has been effective early on in this fight. Good exchange on the inside. Nice action here in the middle of round number 3.
Go, let him go. Watch out. Let's go, guys. Come on, work.
It's a good tie-up right there from Santisima. I know the ref wants Santisima to break, but it's not time to break. I don't have the advantage. I need to break up what González is doing, get him to the rope so I can do what I'm doing right now.
Watch out. Don't swing that way.
Just enough head movement from González to get away from that overhand right. Now turns the tables and drives one of his own. Now trying to close that gap and get back to the inside against Santisima. Right hand scores well. 25-year-old from Aurora, Philippines. Turned pro at 17 years old. 21 wins into his career.
Stop. Step back. Don't hold that down.
You know, Joet González has 26. This is his 26th fight. Still learning to be a winner, Tess, at the highest level. Knowing how not to give up certain rounds and when he's down or when he needs to pick up the pace. And all those nuances come with being elite, and he's got to continue to prove that he's a guy that can not just be in big fights, but he can win.
Started his career 23-0, and then the level of competition when he stepped up and losing 2 of his last 3. Obviously, ultra elite. When you talk about being outclassed, outboxed by Shakur Stevenson, fighting for a world title, and then taking on Emmanuel Navarrete, who's a human chainsaw of a fighter.
If I'm the father of González, I'm constantly telling my son in this fight and when we're in the gym, son, I don't just need you to be a warrior, I need you to be a winner. We got to learn how to win the fights that we need to win.
Right now, what he needs to be telling his son, González, he needs to get off them ropes. There's nowhere to go. You can't go back. You got to go left or right.
I feel like Santisima could do more if he wanted to.
I think both
I
guys.
feel like he could step up the pace.
Yeah, I think both guys great to do more.
Somebody has to make up their mind that they want to take over.
It's just both these men, they have a lot of respect for one another. I think the power, they feel the power. And they feel that if they expose themselves by throwing too much heat, they can leave an opening.
Santisima tried right there with that left hook.
Yeah, but he's against the ropes, and that's the bad thing. You don't want to be against the ropes. You want to have the fight in the center of the ring so all the judges can see the action.
End of 4. Joet González has a 68-53 connect advantage to this point. The total jabs, that has been one of the storylines we've been following in terms of the use of the left hand for González to make life easier. You saw the numbers there. He's landing 24% of his jabs thrown.
Second last round that one of these fighters have to make up their mind that they want to pull away. For González, the way he does that is picking up his jab, coming behind the jab, letting his combinations go, but not giving points back. If he's on the ropes, stay off the ropes, and don't allow Santisima to hit you when you block. If you have to block, fire off the block, but keep it clean so the judges can see the punches that you're scoring. And if you're Santisima, come behind your jab.
If you stay busy, you will win this fight.
The point you both have made in terms of the way he blocks punches, he's only landed 19% because of González's defense. May not be the best thing in terms of what the judges see, though, because as you guys have said, listen, you're still touching him, you're touching gloves, but they're not landing, you're not being effective.
That's hard to believe that Santisima is throwing more punches than González. That many. To me, it's looking like González is not working Santisima in most of these rounds, if not all of them.
And he's clearly being more effective. There's no doubt about that. He's landing 44% of his power punches.
Well, now he is. Now he is. But before, who started the round, Santisima, what he was doing is he was taking the initiative. He was coming at González. And then all of a sudden, a switch went off, and now you see González mobbing forward, being aggressive, like he should if he wants to win this fight.
Start, middle of the ring, good exchange, left hook got the best of it to finish it out.
Michael Domingo's instructions for Jeo Santisima was to switch it up. Don't start with a jab. I want you to throw that lead straight right.
Look for that. Thank you, Bernardo.
Well, what he sees is that don't lead with the jab because he sees that González is trying to land the right hand over the top when he's throwing the jab.
This is just a bad habit that González has developed over the years, which is punch and allow the opponent to come and punch back and just block on your arm, block with your face, block with your glove, and hope that the judges don't score it or you don't get hit with a big shot and then come back. It's just this back and forth type of fight that González is used to fighting instead of getting his and not allowing his opponent to get theirs. That's how you win rounds and you win fights.
You know, fellas, I see this as a battle of distance. When Joet has him on the end of those long, straight punches, he does fine. And when they're locked in together, Santisima bangs him around to the body.
González has success on the inside and the outside, I believe, but it's just don't allow Santisima to come right back and throw 5 or 6 punches.
Nice exchange here in the midst of round 6.
What Gonzalez is trying to do right now, he's trying to take the heart of Santisima. He's saying, now I can take your best. Now can you take my best?
Digging with that left hand to the body and then up top from Santisima.
Gonzalez answers right away.
Yes, he does. Goes towards that belt line himself. Look for the uppercut. Goes back to it with the right hand. Tries to wrap around that elbow.
And Gonzalez, to his credit, he is blocking a lot of shots. I don't want to act like that's not happening. But what I'm saying is you never know what the judges are scoring.
A significant amount of shots, but the work rate of Santisima, what he's throwing is 100 punches more, but he's only landing 21% of those total punches. To your point, many are being blocked. Good stuff. Entertaining 6th round between these two.
Yes, it is.
Scheduled for 10 on a night where we will see the heavyweight debut, Oscar Valdez, the WBC champ. They will meet up to unify at 130 pounds.
You always get the sense that he's looking for a way to try to win. He's always pressing the issue, and he's trying to win. He's not just laying back. Even when he has those moments right there, you can tell he's looking to try to get his own shot, just like he did right there. So he's a guy that fights with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, anybody that allows Santisima to get out first are going to have some problems. As you can see, he had Gonzalez against those ropes, working to the head and the body with those combinations.
Not sure if Gonzalez saw that, though. But it's never a bad idea to keep going downstairs, especially late in a fight.
I think Mark had a really good point earlier this round, or last round, when he said that the distance, Gonzalez has a lot more success when he throws his combinations out at distance than staying inside that pocket where you have a shorter arm fighter in Santisima that has the ability to come back with his offense.
Good stuff. There's some separation, and a right hand reins in from Joet González.
I'm not mad at the inside work of Gonzalez. I like the punch selection. I just don't
Look at that.
good work right
Look at
there.
that. Look at that. From the distance, baby. Mark had it right. This round started like the last round.
Look at Santisima. Now, is anything really getting through? Exactly.
Yes, but we don't know what the judges saw in that moment.
Completely agree. They see the work. They see the aggression.
Jose Gonzalez, the trainer of Joet, the father of Joet, got his son in some heck of a shape because this young man throws a lot of punches. He's always marching forward. And even when he's blocking punches, he's looking to get right back in the action. And he's barely breathing in between rounds.
He is calm and collected for sure, Trey. Halfway through round number 8 here, scheduled for 10. Then we will have the heavyweight pro debut of Richard Torres Jr., the American silver medalist. And then it is time for Ramirez and Pedraza right here on ESPN+.
Nice
Driving right hand down
out at distance.
in the last round, Timmy.
Out at distance, right there, on the chin.
Don't get ready to come in.
Good selection right there. Good body shot off the miss of Santisima.
Santisima's technique is fading by the wayside right now. As you can see, Gonzalez has better technique, especially when it's heating up.
A lot of headshots raining in. Santisima tries to fire back.
You gotta understand what he was able to take from that Navarrete fight. He fought this type of fight with Navarrete all the way through. 12 rounds with him.
That's an answer for Gonzalez.
Oh my goodness. Some beautiful work on the inside.
Send a strong message with that answer.
Double uppercuts coming right back.
10 seconds, stop.
going to take a look and be careful here as we start round number 9.
González needs to jump on Santisima because the first sign of trouble that he gets in, that referee's going to stop this fight.
González should play. This is what I think he should do. Play defense like he did earlier in that round before. Let Santisima work. Let him gas out a bit and then attack him like he did.
Bernardo, what are they saying in that Santisima corner?
That they're not thinking of stopping the fight, that they feel that Santisima is in this fight and he needs to step it up.
It's not what the ref is saying. The referee is very concerned about Santisima. González has to continue to give the referee concern for Santisima.
Santisima working on the inside, trying to dig right to that belt line, then comes up top with the right hand and the left hand after 2 rights to the body. González, calm and controlled at range, placing right hand. Now goes with the left uppercut, back to him.
Yes, he's a smart fighter. He really is.
Turned over the hook as well.
Okay, stop, step back. Step
He
back.
has some swelling himself around the left eye, does González.
He's dished it out, but he's also taken some.
He says it's because of his high cheekbones. That's the reason why he swells.
Of course, he had a match.
Cheekbones.
Yes, when he
You
fought
gotta hit it
that.
for the swell.
My goodness. See, that's just smart, you know. González was inside the pocket, landed some nice short shots. Santisima got out at distance, dropped his hands, and González straight shots right down.
That's it. That right hand ends it. He tracked him,
That is terrible.
lands the right hand, and the referee stops the fight.
González was totally dominating and winning this fight. But that right hand, boom, looping right hand, high on the nose area was enough for the referee to step in, call an halt to this bout.
And it wasn't just the right hand, it was the reaction after.
Referee Edward Volantes calls a stop to this bout at 2 minutes 5 seconds of